to Ohio. And the first thing I want to talk about is I have added in my fixed crop prices mod so that we can sell crops pretty much whenever we want. So the oats and the wheat that we harvested last time, we are going to get sold because there was quite a lot. So, and we could do with some cash. I've added in a new dolly. It's the Lizard Bogeyman. I can't remember who it's by. It has some pretty funky color selections. So we're going to go for street tires because we're going to be using it for delivery. And we are going to go, it has a locking feature. I don't particularly want that, I don't think. And we also want to change the color because that blue is a bit blue. And we've got the copper head lorry and the copper trailer. So we're going to have a copper dolly as well. The other trailer is black to go with the black truck, but it's fine. I have not yet swapped over the second trailer to be a single bin one. I know I can go in and edit the config to just change it without selling it, but that to me always feels weird. It's a bit like, you buy a tractor, with one spec, and then you can just go in the store and change it to a completely different vehicle. Generally, that feels a bit weird to me, so loaded up with the wheat, nearly over 140,000 litres of wheat. So that should be a pretty good price, and it's nice to actually get out on the map and have a bit of a drive around because I really haven't on here. So it was a bit of a new journey for me to find where the sell point was. This truck was really nice, really fast, really powerful. It struggles to get going, but once it's going, it's good. So yeah, we are making a ton of cash. Just going to grab the oats as well. There's not so much of those, so I'm just going to take the one trailer just because it'll be quicker. We don't need two trailers. 77-ish thousand litres of oats, and I think we made about 320,000 selling that off, which is pretty nuts from the first harvest. We need to plough the second field now, so I'm going to get courseplay going with the Fent to do that, because I think we are going to break out the seeder. Now, this seeder there are a couple of things with this seeder. One, I'm not used to something this big, and so it's a bit messy. B, it moves on its own, and you'll see that later. And 3, we need to fill the air cart with seed and solid fertilizer. Seed is fine. We don't have a solid fertilizer bin, so we do need to put one of those in. Just a base game solid fert bin, and we'll spend a shed load of money on solid fert, so that's a bunch of the money we just made gone, but we do have a lot of solid fertilizer now. So you might have noticed the seed is set to soybeans because that's what we're going to stick in this big old field, because the plan initially was to focus on corn and soybeans because that's what they grow a lot of in Ohio. So for now we're going to do that. I might add in some other crops. I fancy doing a bit of cotton. I haven't done that in a long time. And I am also thinking that this seeder is way too big for what we have. These two fields, actually getting it around the fields was not too bad. Excuse me, I just have to, no, I'm not going to. I was going to cough. I needed to get a drink before I started doing this, but it's only 10 minutes. So yeah, for this field, it's okay. I still think it's overkill. For the other smaller field we have, I think it's massively overkill. We do have the planter, which I think is an 18-meter planter, which can do a lot of the crops we're going to do. Excuse me, it's been a long day. So I've been looking at a slightly smaller seeder. I'm not going to sell this one, although the fact that it does jump around a lot on its own when I'm not watching is a bit worrying. But I think maybe we'll buy another seeder, maybe like a 12-meter, something like that. I think that would be fine. I got kind of big kit eyes and thought, wow, we need to get the biggest thing we could. It doesn't really fit, I don't think. You know, it's like 5 passes to seed the whole field. And just, no, it's silly. It was nice to play with something so big, but I just don't think we need it. I need to get rid of all the crap around the edge of the field. Nice little visual effects, really annoying. And if it was my farm, they wouldn't be there because I'd have destroyed them. So we're going to get rid of them. It's so weird not running precision farming. This is, I think the only other time that I've not run it was when we did the competitive multiplayer. This is actually set up quite a lot like that, apart from the kit, obviously. And yeah, it's really weird. You know, this is putting in the first fertilizing state. We've got the big sprayer that will do the second one. And once these have grown a bit, we might get a solid fert spreader at some point, so we can do that before we plant or like before we plow over there. Obviously, we're plowing. I don't think we're going to be using things like manure or digestate on here. The things I want to do on here is I want to get into productions related to corn and soybeans. That might mean we end up doing there's the Midwest production pack, which has got the ethanol factory. It's a pig food production that uses the byproducts. We could just sell them. I might just sell them all. But getting into ethanol, I think will be cool. I've not done that before, so yeah. See, that's that field seeded. It took almost no time. It was stupidly fast. So we're going to hook up the John Deere to the other plow, and I'm going to get them both running on courseplay just to speed that job up a bit. It's not the ideal way of doing 2 vehicles on courseplay, but it's a way of doing it without having to worry about recreating a course. And it got through the job pretty quickly, which was kind of nice. And it does look good. It's a nice looking map. And these are some nice looking tractors. And this is what I was talking about. You saw where I left the seeder? Well, I left it in the shed. Came back, it's halfway out of the shed. In the next video, it does the same thing. Whilst attached to the John Deere, I know the little John Deere is ridiculous for towing it. It was just an easy way of moving it. I've tried detaching the 2 sections now, so we'll see if one of them or both of them stay still when they're detached, or whether they're going to be dancing around the whole time. If that's the case, I might get rid of it and get a different air cart type seeder. To go with wanting to get a slightly smaller seeder. The planter we've got, which we're just going to go because we're going to plant corn in that field we've just finished ploughing, is slightly more sanely sized. I'm not worried about using that in our smaller field. I think it'll be fine. So yeah, I was kind of looking at I've forgotten the name. There's the one that used to be the Great Plains, the multi-crop Great Plains was one that I was considering, because that would, I think it's the same width as this, so we could run the 2 of them when we're doing planting crops, and it can seed for us, or just another 12-meter ish seeder. Stick suggestions below, it would be appreciated. Quick thank you to the YouTube channel members and the patrons. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. And thank you for the comments and stuff on the previous videos. These seem to have gone down pretty well, which is cool because they are a lot of fun to record. It's one where I can just sit down and play a bit of chilled out farm sim for an hour or whatever. And, not have to think, not have to worry. Not have to, what am I going to do when I log in? Because there's always a job, because everything's happening so quickly. I have been looking at other fields to buy on here, and I think of plenty that we can have a look at in the future. And the prices don't seem too insane, so that's kind of cool. Particularly fields to the west of us, so field 1, field 6, that kind of area. Yeah, so I think we are pretty much done with planting the corn. So next time we'll have the other cornfield to harvest, which is going to be cool. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please click the like button. Comments, questions, suggestions for seeders below. Subscribe if you aren't, and I will see you next time on Richlands, Ohio. Do like that animation.